Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pop Rageous Live. Tuesday Night Big Show. I'm your host, Danny Alex. Thanks for stopping in. Quite honestly, I got nothing. I got nothing to say. I got nothing prepared. I got a few things. I got a few things ready. Don't worry. I mean, look. Is that? There's got to be one of the worst looking Michael Jacksons ever, isn't it? I mean, and that's being nice. Typically, I like to consider myself a nice guy, even when I'm critiquing, even when I'm reviewing. Generally, I like to think of myself as a nice guy. But that, my friends, is not Michael Jackson. That is not Michael Jackson. No, I don't know. But apparently, we're going to talk about Michael Jackson, the movie. Apparently, it's got. I thought that this movie was going to bomb, but it's looking like $150 million opening weekend. It's not. I have a hard time thinking that this movie is going to do $150 million box office opening weekend. I don't know. I mean, we're gonna look at the trailer. Some of the dance scenes look okay. I just, an optic view of, the king of pop. I mean, I grew up with the king of pop, man, right? I mean, my days, my 80, I graduated in 1985. 1985. So I was like my teenage years, my early 20s was all Michael Jackson, right? But anyway, I mean, who knows? We'll see. It's we're going to take a look at the trailer. We're going to talk about it. We're going to just do some looking at the weekend box office. I don't think there's any surprises. We have Doomsday. Like, what is a show without a little bit of Doomsday talk, right? Avengers Doomsday. I mean, I do. Sorry, I'm having trouble streaming. Maybe an issue on Facebook's end. Because we do stream to Facebook. I just got a pop up. I guess we're not streaming on Facebook today. Oh well, all right. Well, what do I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, maybe so. All right, we're not on Facebook today. What was I saying? Doomsday. One of the biggest things, and I've been saying this for a while, one of the biggest problems with Doomsday, and it just shows how bad the planning has been with everything. They tried to get smart. They tried to get cute. They tried to get, Kevin Feige thought he was all this and that and then some. You're not. Now you got phases 4 and 5, which are absolutely nothing. They're nothing phases. Years. Basically, they're standalone movies, right? They're standalone movies that they basically lost money on every single one, right? Basically, on every single one, they lost money. Kevin Feige, congratulations. You're going to Disneyland, buddy. Where's I got one of those Elvis Presley mics. I gotta use it one night. Little bit of a different sound. It's a dynamic microphone. I don't know if you know much about condenser microphones, dynamic microphones. I don't know if you guys know much about YouTube setups and things like that. Yeah, this stuff ain't easy. I'm telling you guys, this stuff is not easy. The shite that you gotta learn. Just from the technical side, like I'm a technical guy. Like I write code. I do, I do some networking. So, and also I was a musician, so I know a little bit about audio, yada yada yada. And but it's really, I mean, sometimes I think so many people ask me about it. Sometimes I think maybe I should do a show just on how do you do this? I don't know. 90% of it is just doing stuff live, right? Like what is live? You gotta shoot from your pants. Doesn't matter if you're prepared or anything. It's just fun. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. So Doomsday. Look, man. There's some sissy ass fights going on. There's like, if this article turns out to be true, there is some serious sissy ass fights coming our way. Oh, they're bad. Wait till we get to Old Man Iron Man. Hey, do you guys notice Doctor Doom looks like Tony Stark? Do you guys notice that? He looks like Tony Stark. He looks like Tony Stark. That's my Thor impression. You flick too hard, damn it. No problem with that, right? The girls have no problem with flicking too hard. No problem with flicking too hard. But apparently, we're owning Supergirl's body. Yeah, I know that was a couple of weeks ago. I'm bringing it back up. Why? Because Katy Perry brushed her muff on what's her face? Why Ruby Rose's face? I don't think, is that resolved yet? I didn't even look. Maybe on Thursday, the Thursday Big Show, I'll give you guys an update on Katy Perry's muff brush on Ruby Rose's nose. Only in Hollywood. Honestly, I can't believe. I hope my mom's not watching this filth. This is filth. This is supposed to be a good old family program. Actually, it's not. This is borderline restricted R. PG-13. PG-13? It's not for kids. This show's not for kids. Why is a kid hosting it? That's what you're asking. Why is a kid hosting it? I don't know. And Top Gun 3, guys, there is some Top Gun 3 news. I just picked it up I actually changed things up 10, 15 minutes before the show. I was like, damn, this is kind of interesting. It's kind of disappointing is what it is. It may not be fatal. It may not be critical. But I think it's, if you're a Top Gun fan, I'm a Tom Cruise fan. We'll get to it. Charlize Theron. I think Timothée Chalamet said a few things that maybe he's probably regretting a little bit. I mean, it wasn't totally bad, but Charlize Theron decided to launch a salvo of, rebuttal remarks based on his remarks. And, I was rewatching Battlestar Galactica, right? I wanted to rewatch season 2. And especially because I love it when the whole Pegasus thing shows up, and as a screenwriter, and I know I always preface it, but I think it's important. As a screenwriter, I look at that Battlestar Galactica. I don't know if you guys watched Battlestar Galactica. It was good, and it was good. It was me. But when the captain of the Battlestar Pegasus, what was her name? Commander of attractive lady. She did a really good job. Strong commander of the Battlestar Pegasus. No, not Jack Fisk. That was the other guy. Come on, don't. What's her name? Oh my God, come on. Why didn't I have this ready? I know. There she is. Michelle Forbes. Michelle Forbes. Michelle Forbes. She was and she did a great job. And the point is, here's the point. I wonder if I could share a picture. That's the back of her head though. And there's a point that why I bring this up. Add to stage. Yeah, there we go. Right. So, now that is the back. That is the back of her head, and I thought this is kind of important because, that's Commander Adama. He's the and I have a sci-fi channel, and very big on Facebook. I'm growing like almost 1,000 followers a day on Facebook. But I do a lot of sci-fi stuff, science fiction. Compare Battlestar Galactica with Star Trek, with Star Wars, with The Expanse is getting a new season or a spinoff. The Expanse, that's going to be good. But so her character was. And this is almost unheard of. This is the point. This is unheard of in today's movies and TV shows. So she's a female, and when they come to, when she's admiral, so she actually outranks Commander Rodama. So she took command basically of the Galactica too. But the point is, she was strong, convincingly strong, but she was ruthless. Ruthless to a fault. Ruthless to a fault that you really kind of didn't like her. And the way they write female characters today, they would not write this character. And when I was watching it last night, just the few episodes with the Pegasus. Actually, I didn't get all the way through it. There's just some great space battle scenes between the whole, the Galactica and the base stars and the Sila. Just some really awesome. There's dogfights. The grand old lady, which is the Battlestar Galactica, and the beast, the Pegasus. Anyway, she is Michelle Forbes. Her character was, I don't. Why is it? That's the yeah. Well, there she is, right there. She played this role really well. And the special effects, the space, that's the Pegasus. That's the back of her head. That's all we got. Oh, there she is. She's on the phone. She's on the phone. Hello? There she is. I forgot her name. Commander. Oh, man. You know what? 10 minutes ago, you would have asked me, I would have banged it off, right? The second you go live, stupid. But anyway, she was this is what I miss. We all miss this, right? Because every female character is like Ray, right? How did you fix it? I bypassed the compressor. She was, and it hit me last night while watching it, right? And you're like, wow, they would not write a character like this. She's strong. She is. She's tough, but she to a fault, to a very big fault, right? And they don't write characters female characters like her. Right? Would they write her like this? She was basically became kind of like a villain of sorts, a protagonist that sort of transformed herself into an anti-hero. But they don't write characters like this anymore, female ones. Incredibly fantastic, well played, well acted, well everything. I bring it up because it just doesn't happen anymore. We need characters. We need female characters that don't know everything. We need female characters that are ruthless. She wasn't ruthless. She wasn't ruthless in a male way. She was ruthless in a female way. But it was strong, and this is what we don't have. We don't have these even black characters, right? Every bad character. Look at Daredevil, right? Look at Daredevil. Every bad boo-boo person has a certain, pigmentation. Should we say? I shouldn't say that. Not all. There's a few, but generally speaking, right? It's like in Superman 2025 when the Baravians attacked. There was Caucasian whites and Caucasian females and males. That's it, right? There's no diversity, but they're attacking the diverse people with the flags and the peace flags and everything. It is such a tired, and even black actors will tell you, even female actors will tell you, I want to be the villain. I want to be the bad guy or the bad girl. I want to be the bitch. But Hollywood doesn't give them the roles. That's a big problem for the actors, for fully developed characters. So when you have you can have a ruthless, evil woman that comes across strong, masculine, but in a feminine way, right? As a woman would do. You just got to write it well, and the actress has to act it well. We don't get that anymore. Anyway, so that's why I bring up the Battlestar Galactic thing with Michelle Forbes. There she is. She did a really good job. It was season two of Battlestar Galactica. Anyway, rewatching it, I thought I was going to bring it up, and I did bring it up. So there you go. There you go, mofos. I brought it up. Cause this is Thriller Night. Oh God, that was good. Hey, I might get copywritten for that. It was so on key. Copyright strike. Look, you can't copyright strike me for my amazing singing. You can't. That would not be right. YouTube, that was Danny Alex singing, not Michael Jackson, okay? Don't copyright hit me on that. Cause this is Thriller Night. Oh. I'll stop. Oh, cheers everybody to your Tuesday night. It's a Tuesday big show. Welcome to Tuesday evening. This is what Tuesday evening feels like. It's nothing great. It's nothing bad. Tuesday nights are just we just fly in. Tuesday's chill night, right? We finished Monday. You finished Tuesday. I don't know if you guys are working, what you're doing. It's evening pretty much across the entire North America. I was looking at the stats today. I think, what is it? 80 some odd percent of my peeps are in the United States. Number 2 is Canada. Number 3 is UK. Number 4 is Australia. I like that. That's strong. Guys, so what do we want to do first? I got to, we got some juicy tidbits. You know, I'm not going to start with Michael, even though it has Michael at the top. We're going to get to it. We will. I will, okay, I can ex-nay that. Can we start with Tom Cruise? We're going to start with Tom Cruise. Thank you. I should start with Charlize Theron and Timothée Chalamet spat. Oh man. I don't know. So anyway, Tom Cruise. I was like 10 minutes to going on, 15 minutes. And I thought I always do a news check. Just, movie news, entertainment news, all that kind of stuff. Because I like to try and be on top of stuff, right? I don't want to talk freaking Doomsday and Supergirl every freaking time, right? We want to talk a little bit of, we want to talk some Tom Cruise. So Tommy, sorry, that's what I call him. Tommy, yeah, let me share that. Come on, let's share screen. A Top Gun update. Why is that? Oh yeah, okay, there we go. And there you go. We'll start right after that. Head and Shoulders 2-in-1 dandruff shampoo and conditioner. It's on sale for $12.12. I don't know where. I think probably Amazon. I don't. So if you need some, how am I looking? Do I need Head and Shoulders? Medicated shampoo? Did I have any dandruff? I don't know. I don't think it matters. Okay, so guys, it's a quick news tidbit. Top Gun 3 update is a disappointing setback for the Tom Cruise movie. As you see, April 21st, 2026. If there was a time, it'd probably be like an hour ago. Top Gun 3 is officially in the works at Paramount. That's the good news. But the latest, it's not going to be that Tom Cruise has dropped out. Well, there's no movie. Tom Cruise movie but the latest update on the Tom Cruise movie I don't know if it will disappoint fans. It may disappoint fans if you know who this person is. Last week at Cinecon, Paramount announced Top Gun 3 is in development. I mean, that's big news. I mean, that's awesome, right? With Cruise set to return as Pete Maverick Mitchell, Aaron Kruger, who co-wrote Top Gun Maverick, is penning the script for the third movie. Jerry Bruckheimer will also produce. Jerry Bruckheimer, regardless of what you think of him, the guy does good movies. I mean, he's made a few. No one can make every movie great, obviously. One of the key members of the Top Gun Maverick's success may not be able to return due to scheduling conflicts, according to Puck's Matthew Belloni. Belloni? Did I say that right? Top Gun 3 producers are prepping for the likelihood that Joseph Kosinski will not return to direct. Joseph Kosinski. That's bad. That's bad. Joseph Kosinski is I think one of the reasons that movie came together like it did. The man is talented. That doesn't mean that you can't get someone better to come in, depending on the script, depending on what's needed, who's needed, how they're needed, what they're going to do. Kosinski, who helmed Top Gun Maverick, plans to shoot 2 movies next, a UFO thriller for Apple and the Miami Vice reboot for Universal. Really? You're gonna do a Miami Vice reboot over Top Gun Tom Cruise? I mean, I would be dropped. Sorry, man. Miami Vice. The open show. That's me. That's just me. But Belloni wrote that filming on Miami Vice depends on Michael B. Jordan, who is rumored to star alongside Austin Butler. I like Austin Butler. I don't think I'll say it. You know what? Give me the opportunity to say it. Michael B. Jordan did not deserve the Oscar on Academy Award nights. That movie, Sinners, was not that good. Or as they say on Battlestar Galactica, frack. They don't use the F-bomb. They use the frack bomb. That movie it was not a good movie. The first half was kind of interesting. The second half was shit. It was shit. And that's being nice. Who was rumored to star alongside Austin Butler, Jordan still has to return in his Thomas Crown Affair remake that he's directing for Amazon. Miami Vice is dated for August 6, 2027. Meanwhile, Cruise has not announced his next film. He will be busy later this year promoting Digger. We did the trailer for, Digger on Saturday on Pop Rageous Live. It's Saturday night. Looks very interesting. It's got that. I think Tom Cruise wanted to get back into a little bit of fun, so it's got that Les Grossman kind of a feel. Of course, Les Grossman, he completely developed that character, wrote the parts, everything. So we'll see. Digger, it looks interesting. It does. The upcoming black comedy from Alejandro G. Inarritu. A black comedy is in not, black is in a dark comedy. Dark comedy. I don't know if that's the best way. And people can get confused. They're like, what? It's a black comedy? Paramount would love for Cruise to work on Top Gun 3 next. Of course they would. Money talks. Money talks. You want Tom to do something? So the studio and producer Jerry Bruckheimer have begun approaching talent agencies for directors should Kosinski bow out as anticipated. He's probably already got a call from Tom. Joseph, hey, Tom Cruise. Hey, Tom. Hi, Tommy. As for who might join Cruise in the cast, Miles Teller and Glenn Powell have been linked to return. Teller played Bradley Rooster Bradshaw. He did a good job. I think they both did. Powell did portray Jake Hammond. I think it was a good cast. It was a good cast on Top Gun Maverick. It really was. In 2022, Paramount released Top Gun Maverick, the long-awaited sequel. Do you guys remember 2022 when that came out? We're still in COVID BS. I was living in Los Angeles, and of course, Los Angeles was talk about destroying a city, guys. Talk about absolutely destroying a city. It's something that the Democrats should never be excused of doing. Not that it was good before, but it wasn't as bad, right? LA went down the pooper really fast. I was there for 20 years. So the film received 6 Oscar nominations and 1 for Best Sound. I mean, that's a good one to win, but you imagine getting 6 Oscar nominations and you win for Best Sound? I mean, you were to celebrate the 40th anniversary, Top Gun and its sequel returned to theaters May 13th for 1 week only. So if you want to see Top Gun on the big screen, guys, May 13th, that is the week before. That's the week before May long weekend, isn't it? Or is that May long weekend? May 13th. It's the week before. It's the week before May long weekend. So anyway, that's Dan Girolamo. Not a bad article. Not bad. Well written. On comingsoon.net. Very well done. Very well done. That is our Tom Cruise news. Unless he gives me a call, if Tom calls, we'll have more news. There's only one problem. He doesn't have my phone number. Tom Cruise, he doesn't have my phone number. That might be a problem. We might not get any phone calls from Tom Cruise. Not tonight anyway. I left it on the bathroom wall at the Chinese Man Theater. Maybe if every time I'm in the Chinese Man Theater, I always get the old pen out. Danny Alex. Tom Cruise, call me. There you go. That is... it's interesting because sometimes there is an absolute flurry of things to talk about, right? Because they're edgy. People have said something and things are edgy. New movie with like Black Snape, right? I don't know if you're a Harry Potter fan, it's going to be that much more magnified. I've tried to watch Harry Potter. I'm on the 4th movie now. It's kind of like eating boiled spinach without salt. It's kind of like, I don't get the allure of Harry Potter, and I'm a Dungeons and Dragons guy, right? Huge D&D guy. That's my thing, man. I'm a huge collector of Dungeons and Dragons. I got stuff, some very rare collectibles in the D&D idiom. All the old stuff, right? Back in the 1970s. So, but I don't get the full allure of Harry Potter. I don't. But the TV show is coming out. Having watched enough Harry Potter, I don't know. So Black Snape, and I totally get how fans of Harry Potter are going to be upset or could be upset, right? I mean, Snape isn't in the movies too much. So you kind of think how much, it all depends on how the screenwriter writes them in. And I understand in the books, it's a bigger deal, right? Totally get it. It's one of the more bad, you want to call it race swapping. It's one of the more bad ones. There's good ones. Nick Fury as Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, right? Excellent. Halle Berry as Storm. Awesome, right? Awesome. There's some that work so well because They are cast not because they have a desire to race swap, but they have a desire to put in the best actor that they think is going to fill that role. A lot of times there is a feeling that they've done it only for reasons to shock fans, to make a point, a political point. Whatever that reason is, it's up to you what you think of it. I'm not a huge fan of it because it only typically goes one way. And if you did it the other way around, there'd be hell to pay. It was big hell to pay. But it is what it is, right? So that's Harry Potter fans are fanatic. How do we get to Harry Potter? And it doesn't matter how. We are at Harry Potter. But I am trying to watch. I'm on the fourth one, Goblet of Fire. Goblet of Fire. I'm trying to watch that. I was watching it. I fell asleep. Was it yesterday? Or the day before? No, yesterday I was watching Battlestar Galactica. I think that was Sunday night. I think it was Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night. Do we want to do the box set? No, we'll do Michael Jackson. Let's do the Michael Jackson. Okay. So I think what I want to do with Michael. Here's what I want to do with Michael. Let's share this. Oops. Share screen. Michael Jackson. Add to stage. There we go. So oh no, come on. There we go. Make sure that fits well. Yeah, that fits well. So the Antoine Fuqua directed movie about the King of Pop hits theaters on April 22nd. Guys, that is tomorrow. That is tomorrow. The King of Pop, Michael Jackson, hitting the screens one more time. So Michael Jackson. So we are gonna watch the trailer. I don't know how much of this. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think so. We have perspective, and it might actually be better to watch the trailer first. Let me punch that up. Let me pause that. It's a Universal movie. There we go. So this is the trailer for Michael Jackson. The problem is, this is what I don't understand. They're calling for $150 million weekend. This is the official Universal trailer from Universal Pictures. 5 months ago, it was released. It only has 6 million views. I have a hard time believing. Now, that might be globally. We have it up. We're going to go through it quickly. But this is the Michael Jackson trailer. And again, if you're watching this in the recorded side and there's no trailer, we were copyright hit. I had to delete it off. So anyway, just a heads up. But let's watch.
I know you've been waiting a long time for this. The tracks are made. The songs are ready. Let's take it from the top. This is your story.
I mean, one of the things, as someone who is my age, is the fact that I never saw Michael Jackson live. I had a couple of opportunities, and I never saw him live. And it's kind of one of the things that kind of bothers me a little bit. That I was there, could have. I mean, the tickets were, I guess, when you look back, you thought they were expensive. In today's terms, they were freaking cheap.
Honor your past.
So you wanna be starting some?
And embrace the future.
He looks better in the sunglasses, right? He looks like Michael Jackson in the sunglasses. The moves are pretty good. The moves are polished. I have a hard time thinking there's going to be $150 million for opening weekend. I mean, we'll see. I mean,
That's what people want.
Q, can you?
I mean, you're kind of looking, you can see the fake nose, right? He's wearing a fake nose. Is that Michael Jackson? I mean, it's not the most well chosen faces for Michael Jackson. That to me was going to trip me up because it's like, okay, does it kind of, it looked like they took a white Hispanic guy. I mean, granted, you know, obviously he did a few things, but it's one of the things that I'm not sure. It's hard for me to buy that this guy is Michael Jackson. It's always been an issue for me, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Lower the lights from you, please.
Okay, but remember, in here, keep those feet still, my man.
And of course, you know why that's important. When you're in the studio and you're recording, the microphone picks up everything. You don't want to be shuffling your feet. It's actually it's a big deal. If you've never been in a studio, I've been in a studio a number of times, and yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. There you go, guys. That is the, I don't know if that's the latest trailer. It is a trailer. I didn't even look if it's the latest trailer. It's a trailer. So, I'm not sure if it's worthy of applause, if that should be applauded. But if we, let me remove that. If we do share this one instead, yes, please. Yes, please. Michael Jackson bioptic. So based on the Michael Jackson bioptic, Michael, first reactions, the Antoine Fuqua directed movie about the King of Pop hits theaters on April 22nd. Again, I mean, it's not a great Michael look. It looked like damn. The King of Pop is back. Well, kinda. The first reaction to the much anticipated Michael Jackson biopic Michael have hit social media after the film's star-studded U.S. premiere in Los Angeles on Monday night. The Antoine Fuqua directed feature actually had its world premiere in Berlin on April 10th. But social media reaction from American Express from the credit card company American Press has been limited. In his review for Hollywood Reporter, chief film critic David Rooney said the film doesn't exactly break the mold with Michael, nor do they stuff it with major revelations. And I think that's a big deal because I think a lot of people are hoping that there's actually going to be something in here that they're going to see that's going to open their eyes about the life of Michael Jackson. It doesn't, but they tap into a vein of a melancholy underlaying the atmospheric success that's surprisingly affecting. Full critics review for Michael's drop on April 22nd, with the film released on theaters worldwide on April 24th. The first official biopic of the late Michael Jackson. Michael tells the story of the music phenomenon from his early Motown days performing with his brothers in the Jackson 5 to his breakout as a solo artist. There has been much speculation about whether the film will include the more controversial aspects of Jackson's singular life. And I think that's what people are hoping for, right? They're hoping for maybe a little bit of song and dance, but they're looking for the background. They're looking for the smut. They're looking maybe on his death. How did it exactly happen? Maybe that's kind of the stuff that people are probably intrigued about. And the big problem is, if you don't get any of that, if you don't get any of this stuff, the smut stuff or the stuff that sells magazines. The American consumer might go, okay, well, if I want to if I want to listen to his music, I'll just put his music on. If there's nothing, it's gonna have maybe a good opening weekend, and it's gonna dive after that. The budget is 155 million. So if you take everything into account, you can say 225 million with marketing and everything, 450, call it 450 million to 500 million box office. Just to be safe, say $500 million box office for Michael. 500 million. 450. You could do 400, 450 and make plenty of money in the aftermarket with a movie like this. But if it does have a $150 million opening, you know what? It's sitting okay unless it just drops like a rock, like with the second Wicked did, right? Deservedly so, if I may say. The long gestating Lionsgate film notably has the rights to use Jackson's music and is produced by Graham King, the man behind the 4-time Oscar-winning Freddie Mercury Queen biopic, which is a big deal. Bohemian Rhapsody, which made a massive $911 million at the box office. Michael is led by Jafar Jackson, Jackson's nephew and son of Jermaine Jackson. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Who plays the singer during his transition from a member of an immensely popular boy band to becoming the era-defining solo artist the world fell in love with. The young Michael is played by Giuliano Cruvaldi. Oh, so wait a second. Michael is led by Jafar Jackson, nephew and son, Jermaine, who plays the singer during his transition. Oh, from the boy band. So he plays the younger one. The older one is played by Giuliano. I thought he looks Hispanic, right? He doesn't look black. He looks Hispanic. Right? The cast also includes Coleman Domingo and Michael's father, Joe Jackson. Nia Long as Michael's mother, Catherine Jackson, and Miles Teller as John Branca, an entertainment lawyer and manager. Lauren Ferrier plays the music executive Suzanne DePass. Kendrick Sampson plays legendary producer Quincy Jones. Lawrence Tate plays the all-powerful Motown chief Barry Gordy. Liv Simone, yada yada, Gladys Knight. Jafar Jackson is tremendous in Michael. This is what Daniel Howitt says. He's a hoe. Daniel Howitt. Truly making you forget he isn't the real thing, and off the charts performance. He does look good with the sunglasses on. You take the sunglasses off, and it's like, okay, that's not Michael. The rest of the movie is about as generic as you can get. Fans will love the musical performances, but there's sadly no humanity behind them. Okay, you know what? That really does foretell that this thing is probably going to bomb on the second week. It feels that way. It feels like everybody that wants to see this movie is going to see it opening weekend. And you're going to have like a 75, 79% drop off in the second week. That's what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong, but that is Edward Douglas. I usually enjoy a good music biopic. But Michael is so boring and one note. Maybe because we already know MJ's story, and this pretty much the Coleman Domingo show for the diehard fans only. And that's the thing. People are going and expecting we're going to get some of the dirt, some questions answered. And if there's no questions answered, I didn't understand. When this movie first came out, I thought, okay, this thing's going to bomb. Even on the thumbnail, I put Michael Bomb. I just can't. I have a hard time seeing how this movie makes money. Even with a good opening weekend, which I doubt the numbers. I doubt the 150 million. Look, I easily could be wrong. But if that's the case, everyone that wants to see this movie will see it opening weekend. And it'll have an 80% drop on weekend 2. Jafar Jackson is unreal on Michael. I know the voice was assisted, but the demeanor and dance moves and overall presence is really amazing to watch. Yada yada. But anyway, that's the okay. We don't need to see that. This is. Let's take a look at the box office projection, and I find this really interesting because I would not have guessed this. Michael Jackson, movies projected box office record climbs higher despite 33% Rotten Tomatoes debut. That doesn't surprise me, although I haven't seen it. This movie has never struck me as something. Even when people were talking last year about, oh, this movie's going to make big bucks, $1 billion. It's not going to. What? Michael Jackson is a character. He's the king of pop, but he's a character. I don't know. With just days to go until Michael's release in theaters, the music biopics. Opening weekend projections have surged. According to Deadline, Michael is projected to gross $150 million globally on opening weekend. So domestically, the film is okay. That's a global number. I think it's going to drop hard on the second weekend, guys. It's going to drop hard on the second weekend. 75 to 80%, I would guess. Domestically, the film is on track to earn anywhere from 65 million to 75 to 70 million. After previous tracking numbers estimated 50 to 60 million and an international haul of 75 to 80 million. Look, the guy's got fans. He's got lots of fans. What I'm thinking is those fans, most of them will go on the first weekend. And if the reviews are consistent with what we're hearing, it's going to be just a terrible second weekend. I'm surprised. I would have thought more like around 75, 80 million global. So it's almost twice as much more than I would have thought. Domestically, if this latest projection holds, Michael will have a larger domestic opening than fellow music biopics Straight Outta Compton, which I'm not a rap fan, so I didn't like Straight Outta Compton. I didn't. And Bohemian Rhapsody, I thought was pretty good. Was it worth $911 million? Not in today's market. Not in today's market. Breaking a new record for the genre. But you know, Queen has a very their history, their memory is powerful because just like Michael Jackson, but their songs are huge anthems, right? They are, some of them are like 6-7 minute anthems. So it could be, you know, could be a little different. But anyway, guys, that is Michael. It does open up this weekend. And are you going to go see it? I don't know. I'm not. I have no desire to see it. But that is Michael, the movie. So we'll see. We'll have to wait to see. Actually, 1 week from now, on April 28th, Tuesday, the Tuesday Big Show next week, to see exactly how this Michael movie does. I don't think it's going to do that well, guys. Like I say, my projection on Michael is it may have a good opening weekend. It is going to dive. It's going to nosedive in the second weekend. That's my prediction. We'll find out. We'll find out, my friends. Let's check, since we're here, let's just check. Let's just do, on the Tuesday Big Show, I always like checking the box office numbers. So let's take a quick look. I'll do box office mojo. It's the box office mojo, is box office. So we got the Monday. Was a slow Monday. Tuesday, what is it? Tuesdays like $10 off Tuesdays or something. $10 tickets is the big, so Tuesdays tend to be an okay day. However, actually, let me start with the main page. Let me share that. Let me put that baby on. Let's share that. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this, my friends. Can I center this? All right, this is how it's gonna be, right? Okay. Let me just fix me a little bit so we can. If I gotta make me smaller, then so be it. I'm smaller. There you go. So if you take a look at so this is the box office. Well, you know, the weekend that just ended, we got April 20th numbers. There you see right there. You know what? Let me just grab a little sip of wine. Ooh, perfect. Thank you. April 20th, Monday. That was yesterday. Total gross of only $516 million that's not. The weekend, you can see, you know, April, we're getting to the first big weekend. May long weekend in the United States, which is May 22nd, right? I think that is. But if we take a look, who's winning the box office? Super Mario. I don't think that's a surprise. $752 million worldwide. It did open on April 1st. It's well behind the first one. It is going to struggle to $1 billion. Actually, let's take another quick look at So this past weekend, what did it do? 28, 29, 30, 36, 37 million. It'll probably drop another 40%. So maybe another 20 million plus international. You're going to be looking at, it's going to have a hard time getting it to $1 billion. By today's standards, this is a successful movie, very successful based on today's and Project Hail Mary. This is week one. I mean, I think it was a no-brainer that this movie was going to have staying power, like Tom Cruise Maverick, like the Avatar. It is going to have serious by word of mouth. And it is. And my projection was, by the time it's all said and done, was 750 to 800 million. Even though it had a pretty small opening weekend, it wasn't huge. But the staying power. If this 574 million, if it does 750, ooh, that's a cinematic win. And in the aftermarket, it's going to kick butt. Like, think of The Martian. See, Andy Weir. Andy Weir wrote The Martian. This is also, he has 3 books. And one of them is not a movie yet. But this is, I actually saw him, Andy Weir, on Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson. And his science to this movie is so well thought out. It really is. I think it totally impressed Neil deGrasse Tyson. But his science is so well thought out on everything dealing with this movie. Even one of my friends, one of my good friends, his wife, she is not a sci-fi fan. And we were out on Chicken Wings like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And she told me, like, oh my God, sci-fi. Like, I went to go see it. And I was like, wow, you went to go, women tend not to like sci-fi. There's like a 15, 20% contingent, right? But she loved it. And she went to go see it again. Again, she loved the movie so much, which I think is awesome, right? I think more women need to get into sci-fi. Like, I really do. I think that's freaking awesome. But it's one of these things that it's a crossover audience, and it is an audience from young to old. And it's just like The Martian. So 750 million, it could happen. It could happen. And of course, the big disappointment is Lee Cronin's The Mummy. I tell you, anytime you put your name to start the movie, 35 million. What's the budget? Lee Cronin's The Mummy budget. Oh, you know what? It's only 22 million. Let's reanalyze this. 22 million. So with marketing, 22 million, 30, let's call it 35 million. It needs 70 million to break even. So if let's say it's 22 million, call it 12 million marketing. So it's at 35 million, 50-50 taking the box office. So you double it, $70 million to the box office, and it breaks even. So this thing's gonna make some money. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Whether you like it, I heard some bad new things about it. But if you're doing 50% of your break even on your opening weekend, that bodes very well. It does. It does. So at least it's going to break even. So Lee Cronin, you know what? That's the beauty of a low budget. Hoppers, this thing's going to lose a lot of money. 360, it's done. It's done. It's great. But anyway, that is basically, that's the and the big one is Michael. Michael's coming out tomorrow, so we'll see where that's going to land us into how Michael. I guess I've already made my points. I made my opinions known for Michael. Oh, so give me. Thank you. Thank you. Need a few seconds there. So the next I want to jump into Doomsday. There's been a little bit of Doomsday news. Avengers Doomsday. It's almost like they're dropping stuff to try and get some attention. That's what it kind of feels like sometimes. Yeah, I got that I'm gonna sneeze feeling in my nose. You ever get that? My friends, let's do this. Let's do share screen. So this is interesting. I don't know how credible this is. But, like I said, I don't know how credible this is, but this is, and I found this very interesting. So this is from comicbook.com. They tend to be pretty good with their information that they get. Thor versus Doom and 3 other fights we know are in Avengers Doomsday and who we think wins. Now, I like this is not... This might say a lot about Avengers Doomsday. And I have said I'm not expecting from day one. I have said this thing's going to have a $750 to $800 million budget. It's going to need $1.5 billion to break even. I don't even think they care because phases 4 and 5 are done. Those are a whole bunch of one-off movies. They're going to be brushed under the carpet. It's going to be like a la 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 la, kind of one of those things, right? If Kevin Feige is asked about it specifically on any of these, on on media tours, you know what? He'll have some sort of a staged one-liners like, you know what? Those are great movies, and we're letting them stand on their own, but we're really focusing on this storyline, this timeline. It's going to be canned. It's going to be a canned response. But anyway, guys, the anticipation for Avengers Doomsday has reached a scale that Marvel Studios has not achieved. I don't think that is Marco Vito Odo. I don't agree with you, my friend. The anticipation, let me reread that. The anticipation for Avengers Doomsday has reached a scale that Marvel Studios has not achieved since Avengers Endgame. I don't think that's a matter of fact. Directors Joe and Anthony Russo are back. The cast is staggering in its breadth. Well, that is true. And the premise delivers on what fans have wanted for decades? A few years, maybe 7 years since the end of Endgame. Decades? The film unites the MCU's Avengers with the Wakandans, the Fantastic Four, and the original Fox-era X-Men cast, including Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and James Marsden. That would already be enough for a mind-blowing crossover. No, it wouldn't be enough for a mind-blowing crossover. Just because you have people in a freaking movie doesn't make it a good movie. I mean, that is just asinine. That is stupid. But the MCU is also bringing in Robert Downey Jr., Old Man Iron Man, as the armored tyrant Doctor Doom. I tell you, man, if you've been watching, you guys know that this whole Avengers Doomsday bugs me. It's bothered me from being a screenwriter and my 20 years in Los Angeles. This is one of these shows that they're compensating. This is a show this is a movie that's been created because of so many bad decisions. This is a movie that now exists because of the only reason is the management of Disney Marvel made 3 or 4 dozen bad decisions in a row. And so they need to compensate to do this. This is why this movie exists. Because of 3 or 4 dozen bad decisions, it is not a reason for this movie to exist, but this is why it exists. For a handful of lucky fans and industry insiders present at this year's CinemaCon, the trailer of Avengers Doomsday already underlined how the multi-universe saga is coming to close in grand style. You thought, we thought it was close. So this is one of the fights there. Look, I am not a Pedro Pascal fan. I don't like him as Richard Reeves in Fantastic Four. I didn't like him. I didn't. I thought he was like a 4 out of 10. So that is one of the fights. During an interview about Avengers Doomsday, Alan Cumming described a fight sequence he was preparing for, casually letting slip that he would be hitting Pedro Pascal against the head. That all but confirms a fight between Nightcrawler and Mr. Fantastic. And while Cumming later joked on Jimmy Kimmel Live that he broke Pedro, which makes sense. On paper, Reed, I think I called him Richard Reed. Did I call him Richard Reeds earlier? Reed Richards is one of the most intelligent beings in the Marvel Universe. I tell you what, Fantastic Four First Steps didn't prove that fact because he looked like an imbecile. Just as a science guy, if you're gonna transport in Fantastic Four First Steps, if you're like I did not like that movie. If just for the science part, and my main channel is a science channel. I love science fact. I love science fiction. You're gonna teleport the Earth 1,000,000 light years away, or however. What you're not gonna take the moon with you? And so he could teleport. What was it? A golf ball? What was he teleporting? A golf ball? And then his answer was, well, it's only just a matter of scale. Okay, yeah, really. Okay, fuck. Guys, I could spend time on how stupid Fantastic Four. Basically, the Thing was a glorified cook and pilot, right? That's all he was. Weak story. Oh, my God. Yeah, let's make lemonade. Let's keep going. That all but conferred, yada. On paper, Reed Richards is one of the most intelligent beings in the Marvel, capable of stretching his body into nearly any configuration and applying that elasticity in combat. The problem is that Richards is a scientist first, a combatant last. And Nightcrawler fights with the instincts of someone who has been outnumbered for his entire life. The ability to teleport mid-combat also allows Nightcrawler to vanish and regroup if things become too dire, which is why we think Nightcrawler wins the fight. All right. Again, guys, this is Avengers Doomsday. 4 fights in Avengers Doomsday. That was the first one. Mr. Fantastic and Nightcrawler, and they think Nightcrawler wins. Mystique versus Elena. Honestly, I haven't read this. If Mystique doesn't win this, I will be shocked. But let's find out what they say. The CinemaCon trailer included a shot of Mystique, Rebecca Ramin, transforming into Elena Belova, teasing a Florence Pugh versus Florence Pugh confrontation at X-Men 2, or in X-Men and X-Men 2. Mystique is one of the most dangerous close quarters fighters in the franchise, taking on multiple armed opponents simultaneously with exceptional agility and a combat style built entirely on unpredictability and misdirection. Meanwhile, as Black Widow and Thunderbolts established, Elena is a Red Room trained operative whose hand-to-hand record is genuinely elite. Okay. The problem I have, and I've said this before, I was a kickboxer for 8 years. If Elena can be even Black Widow, sorry guy, like, you're telling me that every MMA fighter is a superhero then? Peak physical ability, peak fighting ability. So if you're a peak fighter, you should be able to go to the MMA and kick everyone's ass. And that's why I've never really liked this Street Fighter style superhero. I've never liked it. It's like in the Superman or Spider-Man trailer, when Spider-Man goes through the windshield, hits Punisher, he's driving the van, hits him, the seat gets knocked off through the back. Punisher is just a human being. So you're obviously saying he's got some sort of serum. Did he get this Captain America serum? This is why give Punisher some real freaking powers. Make him drink a bad bottle of Diet Pepsi. It was laced with Hulk blood. I don't give a fuck. Otherwise, don't let Spider-Man fly through a windshield, which would absolutely instantly kill any human being. The Punisher is a human being. So that's the stuff that bothers me. And you cannot tell me that a Mystique versus Elena fight, that Mystique would in any way freaking lose this thing. It's a stupid fight. One's a freaking human being. The other one is like a serious, that's just me talking. The difference is that Mystique wearing Elena's face and moving nothing like a regular human presents a targeting problem that no amount of combat conditioning fully prepares a fighter for. That disruption means Mystique wins that fight so freaking easily. I don't know what you guys think. To me, Mystique wins that hands freaking down. Check Mystique on that one. Mystique. And like I say, I've always had a problem since I was a kid. I've grown to like Batman more, because even though Batman's a guy, you cannot tell me he has peak physical conditioning and he can go into the MMA and beat guys that literally train every freaking single day of their life. Haven't been a fighter in the ring myself. You've got to train every freaking day, motherfucker. You do. So that's why I've always had a problem with the Daredevil universe. I've had a problem with, although Daredevil, he's got strengths, right? He's got stuff. But these humans that are just at peak ability and they're just angry. What's their superpower? Well, they're fucking angry. Well, that's it? Their superpower? Yeah, they're angry. He's angry. Punisher's angry. But Jon Bernthal freaking owns it. Owns it. We got the, what is it, May 12th or May 22nd? The 60 minute movie, the Punisher movie. I hope it's good, because that's going to lead us right into Spider-Man Brand New Day, right? That is literally a 60-minute movie, a single episode that exists to lead us into Spider-Man Brand New Day. I like what Jon Bernthal, look, the highlight of Daredevil Born Again Season 1 was Jon Bernthal. I think he appeared in, was it episode 6, 7, and 8? Or 7 and 8? 6, 7, and 8? He owns it. He does. He owns it. He is. I just wish you got to give these guys something. So I've never liked the street fight. As a kid, I remember going back as I was 5, 6 years old. I was like, these guys aren't super guys. That's super guys. It's just what? You tell me he's just a guy in a cape? Okay, well, I like Spider-Man. But Batman, I've learned to like Batman over the years. I have. Because Batman, gadgets, the suit, maybe because technology, the way technology goes, you could kind of see it up. It's still a hard, Batman is it's an ideology. It's a world. The Batman is a feeling. Batman is he encompasses so much more. He has grown to, he's literally grown to legend, right? Even though he doesn't have any superpowers, he is still super powerful, I guess. Easier to believe, I guess. Oh, guys, can you believe it? I don't know what to say. Shang-Chi versus Gambit. Oh my God. Wah! Wah! Sorry, Shang-Chi. I would pay money to see Simu Liu get his ass kicked. Okay, I'd pay money to see Simu Liu get his ass kicked. Fuck it. Him and Lugazamo. What's his name? Lugazamo. Fuck it. I got some advice for you. Shut your pie hole. Get fighting, buddy. And look, when it comes to amazing performances as a superhero, if you guys seen Deadpool and Wolverine, you know Channing Tatum, who is coming back, obviously he's coming back into it was his performance as Gambit in that movie, which was absolutely freaking phenomenal, right? This is almost one of those Heath Ledger moments. We all heard that Channing Tatum was going to be, and we were kind of like, what? Channing Tatum is going to be Gambit? But when we are introduced to him at that little hideaway, right? When Elektra walks in and Blade walks in, oh, Wesley Snipes, right? When you see Wesley Snipes walk in, you're like, oh, motherfucker, right? You're like, yeah, that's my man. Elektra, Jennifer Gardner, fantastic. And the Gambit with the French, everything, fucking beautiful. The comedic timing between Channing Tatum and Ryan Reynolds was absolutely magnificent. So I am really happy. Although he died, right? I guess that's one of the multiverse guys that, yeah, I guess they can choose between millions of Gambits, right? There's millions to choose from. But anyway, this is the third fight. This is the third fight that we think we know in Avengers Doomsday, Shang-Chi versus Gambit. Let's see what comicbook.com thinks. I'm picking Gambit. I don't know who you're picking. Who are you picking? Shang-Chi or Gambit? Let's make lemonade. The CinemaCon trailer featured Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, and Gambit, Channing Tatum. One of my favorite superheroes, you know. It's amazing what a good actor can do to a character. In direct combat, teasing one of the most thrilling fights. I don't know if it's one of the most thrilling. Gambit's kinetic energy manipulation turns any object into an explosive projectile, and his staff proficiency results in a combat style built around fluid and unpredictable movement. Shang-Chi, in his turn, is the MCU's premier hand-to-hand combatant, trained in every martial discipline. On top of that, Shang-Chi now controls the 10 rings, weapons of ancient power that have no natural counter in any conventional fighting style. Of course, unless you're fighting Batman. Unless you're fighting Batman. I don't care if you're controlling the 10 frickin' rings. I don't care if you got the one frickin' ring. Okay? I don't care. You want to fight Batman? Ten rings, one ring, Frodo, Simu Liu, I don't care. Gambit's explosive charges are devastating against static targets, but Shang-Chi does not stand still, and the 10 rings can disrupt and deflect at range. That means Shang-Chi wins this fight before Gambit gets a second round of cards in the air. Well, I guess, you know what? That's one opinion. That's one opinion. And of course, our final one, guys, the headliner. You flick too hard. Thor versus Doctor Doom. Old Man Iron Man. And it's one of the jokes that I've been making this whole time, right? And I want Thor to say it. It's like, oh, mate, you look a little bit like that Tony Stark guy, or our friend Tony Stark, you know, mate. You look a little bit like Tony Stark. It's really quite uncanny. You look like Iron Man. Still, the casting thing needs to be explained somehow. Look, Doctor Doom versus Thor. I still think, because of the story beats, I think Thor has to lose that only because of the story beats. Because this would suggest if Thor beats Doom, that's the final fight and it's over. I do think, seriously though, one-on-one, if they went toe-to-toe, not in this movie, Thor would win. I think because of the movie beats that they need, and I have not read this. The story beats that they need for this movie to work, Thor's gonna lose. If this is a fight that happens. The CinemaCon trailer for Avengers Doomsday features a chilling image of Doctor Doom stopping Thor's Chris Hemsworth's Stormbreaker axe with his hands. Thor is one of the most powerful characters in the MCU, and pitting him against Doctor Doom can set the stakes for the crossover movie. The Russo brothers have already described Doom publicly as a villain who is always 3 moves ahead of the heroes around him, so he's Batman. He's Batman. Which means this fight is not designed to be won by the Asgardian. Yeah, well, that's what I say. The story beats alone. You can't have a fight like this, and if Thor wins, well, that's your third act final fight, and it's over. Okay, we know how this ends then, right? Doomsday needs to establish Doom's threat level convincingly, and defeating the God of Thunder in single combat is the clearest possible way to do that. And that probably happened because one of the trailers they released was Thor going and, talking to his dad, right? Going to wherever he goes to talk to his dad. And that probably sets up the same thing that happened with Thanos, right? And one of the classic lines was, and I still like it, it is like Chris Hemsworth has got incredible comedic timing. Incredible. It's when he says, Thanos has never beat me. Well, he just did. Well, he's never beat me twice. Like, fuck that. I mean, that is classic. That is, and then Chris Hemsworth face and everything. Literally, easily one of the best lines in Chris Hemsworth. He's a good actor. He is very versatile. He's able to bring a lot of different perspectives. Extraction 3 is being filmed. Like, really, Extraction 3? It's so tiring. Chris, can you just do a new? Like, we're tired. Stop the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This does not have to go to Rambo. Right? Rambo is Sylvester Stallone is going to be like 104, and it's going to be like Rambo, and it's gonna take place in like a retirement village, right? The retirement home. Rambo, the retirement home, and it's going to be like a whole bunch of really, really old actors playing, they got their walkers or something. I don't know. Be a comedy. It'd be like, it'd be like a Mel Brooks movie at that point in time, right? That's what that would be. So anyway, guys, let's recap. Can we recap? I'll recap it. Nightcrawler versus Richard Reeds. They're calling it Nightcrawler wins that one. The second fight that we think is going to happen, Mystique versus Elena. Mystique wins that one. Pretty hard to argue that, my friends. Shang-Chi versus Gambit. My personal favorite is Gambit. I will not root for Simu Liu. Won't do it. I will go for Channing Tatum and Gambit and his dumbass French accent, which is fucking brilliant. And of course, number 4, Thor versus Doctor Doom. Just by story beats alone, Doctor Doom has to win that one. If they go toe to toe, Doctor Doom has to win that one. That's the setting up, right? If Doctor Doom can beat, for whatever reasons, arguably the most powerful Avenger, then we got a reason for a third act, whether it's in Doomsday or whether it's Secret Wars, right? However it gets resolved. So we'll see. That's what we know. It's interesting. It's interesting, guys. Doomsday, I'm not going to watch it. I got to go. Fuck. Not a big fan of Doomsday. Not a big fan, guys. Not. It'd be better if they came out and said, you know what, guys? Kevin, I don't want to say Kevin Feige. I always say Faggy for a reason. If they could almost would have been better if he would have come out and said, we gotta, it's like the president's address of Disney Marvel. And he sits there and he's got this stand. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for joining me. My name is Kevin Feige. I'm the head of Disney Marvel. And I know I've really fucked up. Like I spent 2 phases in the entire Marvel universe thinking I knew what I was doing. And I tried to shove political shit down your throats. I tried to shove a whole bunch of crap, garbage, toilet bowl level ready stuff down your throats. I thought you would buy it. Why? Because I thought I was smarter than I was. My name is Kevin Feige. Feige or Feige? Call me either one. Call me Feige if you want. Call me Feige if you want. But the point is, I fucked up. I fucked up on phases 4 and 5. And just to make things up, just so I hope you forgive me and that you will spend your money to go see the shit. Because I'm pulling back the old man Iron Man. I'm putting him in a movie, but he's not Iron Man this time. He's Doctor Doom. Yes. And I want you to go spend your money because I know I fucked up. I know I did. And this is going to just be like the takeoff of where like 2019 and it's going to be like la. I know Ironheart, all this guy. I'm sorry. That's what I want to hear. That's what everyone freaking wants to hear. It's not going to happen. Oh, the vendors chatting. This is like betting who wins the shuffleboard on the deck of the Titanic. A little bit. My guess is that Mystique outs herself due to possessing a better Russian accent than Florence Pugh. I like that. That's good. Evander, I can always count on you for a freaking funny or two. Thank you. That's good. My guess is that Mystique outs herself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. That's the best possible outcome. Shang-Chi gets his ass kicked, right? That's what I'm hoping for. And oh shit, here's the punchline. And transitions to a role as a dish boy at the local PF Chang. Maybe a waiter. Can we give him a waiter job? We could do a waiter or like bartender maybe. I give him something, but really, dish boy, that's tough. Maybe okay. You got to start somewhere. Behind the scenes, Simu Liu was caught offering to give Gambit's staff a ring job. Jesus, can I get a ring job? I'll take a ring job. I'll take anything, right? I need a date. Someone call me, ask me out. Hey, Daddy, you want to go out on a date? What? What's a date? I don't even know what that is. What the fuck is it? Thor is like Worf in TNG. He needs to get his ass kicked in order, right, to demonstrate his big baddie's efficacy. That is so true, right? That's how he gets his chutzpah. Chutzpah, because I'm Jewish. If you believe I'm Jewish, you're dumb. All right. If you believe I'm Jewish, you're dumb. Dumb. That is true, right? That's how Thor. Yeah. But that is also establishing a great payoff, right? You need to kick ass. But yeah. No, it's very true. That's very true. That is. Evander. You do put a smile on my face with some of your comments. I do appreciate them. I do. I think everyone does. Excuse me. So, let me just take a look here. Okay, so we're good with that. Trump has extended the ceasefire. That's good, right? Let's not. Should we stop killing people? Let's stop killing people. Extend the ceasefire. End the ceasefire. Israel, get the fuck out of Lebanon. Get the fuck out of Lebanon. Can we all just get along? Jesus. Sometimes I wish like real superheroes actually did exist. I'm sure someone would have stepped in Lebanon and said, no, just go back. Take your tanks, go back. Shoosh. Superman or Thor. I mean, that's what I would do. So there's this one other interesting thing. I did mention Charlize Theron, right? Charlize Theron and Timothy Chalamet. I'd like to see them go one-on-one in a fight, like right, just literally, okay, boom, 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 right? Just or yeah, boom, 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 boom. I don't think that's gonna happen. I would like to see it. I would like to see Charlize Theron and Timothy Chalamet. But since we cannot see that, ladies and gentlemen. I do present to you a little bit of a kerfuffle that's been so apparently let me just get to there we go apparently so Timothy Chalamet, Dune 3 guy. I mean that is not a tough guy look. Timothy Chalamet, like that's not a tough guy look, right? That's not a tough guy look. Charlize Theron always kind of looks. She always looks a little tough, right? Charlize Theron. She's always got a little bit of that toughness. I do like Charlize Theron. She has been sexy her whole life, I think. Doesn't matter how old she gets, she just stays sexy. Charlize Theron jabs at Timothy Chalamet's ballet opera remarks. I mean, I got to admit, I'd probably say the same thing Timothy Chalamet would say. AI is going to be able to do his job in 10 years. Oh, that's hard. Oh, Charlize, that's a kick in the cack, right? That's a kick right in the old schnazzers, right in the old jubblies. That's hard. That was very reckless comment on an art form, two art forms that we need to lift up constantly because, yes, they do have a hard time, the Oscar winner told New York Times. Now, what I would say if an art form needs lifting up because people aren't going to see it, enough said. Enough said. So I will kind of push back on that. If opera needs to be lifted up by other, if it can't hold its own, well, then let it fall to where it's supposed to be. Ballet, same thing. If people aren't going to watch it, ballet's got to fix it. You can't frickin', anytime you subsidize something, it gets worse. You can't subsidize something and get merit out of it. You can't get good results out of subsidies. You can't. Charlize Theron is weighing in on Timothée Chalamet's earlier comments about ballet and opera, calling them very reckless. Oh, you're very reckless. And defending the art forms, which is cool. Like I say, I like Charlize. I do. In an interview with New York Times published Saturday, Theron spoke about the physical and mental demands of dance while discussing her own experience. It doesn't, I get it. But if it can't sustain itself as an art form, that means people don't want to spend money to see it. And it needs to drop to whatever level until it gets picked up again. You can't artificially lift something, right? There's either an audience or there isn't. Just ask Star Wars or Marvel. You know, they've been in La La Land for freaking 7 years, 10, 12 years. Dance is probably one of the hardest things I've ever did. Dancers are superheroes. Charlie's dancers are superheroes. What they put their bodies through in complete silence, the Mad Max Fury Roadstar said, prompting the reporter to joke, sorry to be. Do you know what an NFL football player puts their body through? Now, granted, a lot of them make big bucks. Some of them don't. Some of them don't. There's a lot of people, you know what northern crab fishermen put their bodies through? There's a lot of people that put their bodies through a lot of stuff. I do not believe in subsidizing an art form for the purpose of subsidizing an art form. I'm not a subsidy guy. That's just me. Oh boy, I hope I run into him one day, Theron replied. Timothée Chalamet's going, oh shit. Could you please, if Charlize is in the room tonight, can you tell me? Because I'm out of here. Like, I've got to get out of here. That was a very reckless comment on an art form, two art forms that we need to lift up constantly because, yes, they do have a hard time. But in 10 years, AI is going to be able to do Timothée Chalamet's job. But it will not be able to replace a person on a stage dancing live. And we shouldn't expletive on other art forms, and that is true. Like, you really don't need to, like, if ballet and opera are already down, you don't need to beat on it. But sometimes when a guy like Timothée Chalamet says something, it brings it to the front. And we, again, if you got to subsidize ballet and subsidize opera because people aren't going to see it, well, then obviously the product is wrong, and you've got to fix the product so that people do come and see it. It's like the WNBA being subsidized by the NBA. If you need millions upon millions of dollars to subsidize the WNBA just so it stays alive, then maybe you've got a product problem. And if you're saying the WNBA has to exist, okay, then it's a charity. Then the WNBA isn't a professional league, it's a charity because it requires outside funds because it can't support itself. It's the same thing. Now, I'll take Timothée Chalamet's point on that. It's usually one of those things when an art form becomes so close to being so obscure is when they've really got to, can I use the term reimagine opera or reimagine ballet so that people do come and see it? That is what brings the best out of people, not artificially subsidizing something. So even though I do like Charlize Theron, if Timothée Chalamet, he might be hitting the nail on the head. And what he is saying is ballet and opera, you've really got to, you can't keep doing the same stuff if it's not working and it's not bringing butts in seats. You've got to reestablish the art form in a way that does bring butts in seats. I disagree with Charlize Theron that we subsidize it. We don't subsidize it. That brings weakness. Subsidies bring in weakness. That's how you make people weak. Dance taught me discipline. It taught structure. It taught hard work. Timothy Chalamet didn't say anything about that. It taught me how to be tough. It's borderline abusive, she continued. There were several times that I had blood infections from blisters that just never healed, and you can't get a day off. I'm literally talking about bleeding through your shoes. I think she was a ballet gal, right? Did Charlize Theron do ballet? Yes, Charlize Theron was a trained ballet dancer. She studied at the Joffrey Ballet School in New York City. I mean, good for her. Like, that's a true talent. And pursued a professional dance career, but was forced to stop due to serious knee injury. Marathon runners get knee injuries. Football players get knee injuries. Hockey players get knee injuries. Basketball players get knee injuries. If you're a professional, you get freaking knee injuries. So don't cry. Please, come on. Man up. Man up. That's what I got to tell Millie Alcock and Supergirl. Man up. You got to subsidize it. You think nobody else gets bad knees? You don't think kickboxing? You don't think MMA or kickboxers get bad knees? You don't think there's anything, just ballet dancers? You don't think any other professional sport? You know how many kickboxers there were when I did it? No one was making money in kickboxing. But you're putting your face and body through a beating to make $0, basically. At least now you can be an MMA fighter and make some money. So I don't know whose side you guys would land on, but look, if you've got to subsidize an art form, then ballet needs to adjust to find an audience. I just find it interesting that Charlize Theron and, Timothy Chalamet are kind of like, that's what I want to see. I want to see a fist fight. Chalamet versus Theron. Chalamet first sparked backlash in February during a Variety and CNN town hall with Matthew McConaughey. During the chat, the Barty Supreme star was asked whether audiences are still interested in slower-paced movies. He responded saying he wouldn't want to be involved in an art form that no one cares about, noting ballet and opera as examples. And he's right. He just doesn't want to be a part of it. He wants to be a part of those are two art forms that need to fix themselves. So go fix yourself. Put ass in seats. Every other art form has to change with the times. Hey, keep this thing alive, even though no one cares about this anymore. Chalamet said with a laugh, all respect to the ballet and opera people out there. I just lost 14 cents in viewership. I'm taking shots for no reason. He's probably right. His remarks drew criticism from members of the opera and ballet communities, as well as other celebrities. Look, not for me. Not for me. I don't think that was particularly mean. I think that's a wake-up call for opera and ballet. Wake the fuck up. If you can't get ass in seats, if you can't get people to spend money to come see you, you need to reassess your product. It can't be subsidized. And don't get mad at other people for pointing out the obvious. If someone points out the obvious, it's a favor. Instead of sticking your head in the sand, la, 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 la. No, Timothy Chalamet is just mean. No, he's fucking right. So if you're having issues in ballet and opera, fix your product. The moment even became a punchline at last month's Oscars where host Conan O'Brien joked, I'm told there are concerns about attacks from both the opera and ballet community. Before adding to Chalamet, they're just mad at you. They're just mad at you because you left out jazz. That made me like Timothy Chalamet a lot more. Timothy! Timothy, you want to come to my house for some drinks? Give me a call. Timothy, give me a call. I love Charlize Theron, but I'm on Timothy Chalamet's side on that. If your art form cannot survive, fix it. You gonna call me a name? Eh? All you ballet people? you're gonna call me a name? You're gonna call me like stupid? Oh, you're a dumbass. Ooh. The great thing about being me is I don't give a shit. I don't care. I am an island. Am I? I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. It's for entertainment purposes only, so I would say fucking relax, right? All you opera people. Who wants to literally see opera? Like I don't want to see opera. I don't want to see ballet. So fix your product so I do want to go see it. Market yourself so that people do want to go see your product. Like I have no desire to going to the opera. I've never asked a girl on a date. Mind you, it's been a few years since I've been on a date. So if there's any single girls out there, do you want to go? Where are we going tonight? Oh, I thought I'd take you to the opera. Could you imagine? People, what? Yeah, I thought we go to the opera. Okay, the opera or the ballet. I got tickets to the opera or the ballet. Or look, if you go, guys, I know when I lived in Los Angeles for 20 years, there were a couple of bars, and they 2-3 nights a week they would have a jazz band. And I tell you what, when you're in a lounge and you got a live jazz band, that is freaking the best. It is the best. I think one of the most amazing things, even a live piano player. One of the most amazing things is if you go in there, you sit by yourself, right? You have a few drinks and you eat. For me, I eat appetizers, right? You go into a jazz bar and you just hear being a former musician myself too, right? You feel it because it's kind of a like 7/8 time, or like it's got these weird time signatures. And as a player, I'd be like, okay, wait a sec, where? I mean, because normally it's 4/4 time, right? It's like that's I know Rush. Rush is one of my favorite bands. Rush very often change their time signature into something that like literally like Limelight. It changed from like 4/4 to 7/8. Time. I don't know how many musicians are out there. If you're not a musician, you won't understand. But basically, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so 7/8 is like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and you're like, wait a second, what? It's good shit. It's good shit. Where are we? Vavander's got something to say. I think Timothy Chalamet would find himself challenged by a strong updraft. Okay, well, can't argue. Resting bitch face is not to be confused with toughness. There you go, my friend. That is resting bitch face is not to be confused with toughness, says Vavander. Give me 8 seconds. I think I was less than 8 seconds. I'm having fun tonight. I really am. I'm kind of almost out of content, but I don't want it to end. I'm having fun. What did I just close? So one of the things I do like to do here on Poprageous, and thank you for joining me tonight. It's really like we're a growing channel. I just started doing live. Like this is the what I think this is the 11th Tuesday show. Normally they say you've got to do, 100 to 150 shows before you start getting traction. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping to get some good traction around 50 or 60. I don't give a damn though. I'm having fun. But thank you for joining us, and everyone who is watching in the recorded side, because that's usually where you get most of your watches, is post. But one of the things I do like to do here at Pop Rageous, I like to just go into one of the major. You know what we'll do? What do you want to do? I'll do the Hollywood Reporter. Let's do the Hollywood Reporter, even though they piss me off. The Hollywood Reporter does piss me off. Okay, sometimes. Let's do film. Let's do film news, and we just go through the headlines, and then we'll go to stuff that is quite interesting. And sometimes it could be. This could be. There's. Yeah. Let's make lemonade. Let's make lemonade. We're making lemonade. Let's share. Hollywood Reporter. We just did. We did a whole segment today on Michael. So we've been there, done that. He looks good with the sunglasses. He looks good with the sunglasses on. With the sunglasses off, he doesn't look good. My thoughts. We looked at the trailer earlier this in the show today. My thoughts is that everyone is going to want to see this movie is going to see it on the first opening weekend, and it's going to crash in the second weekend. Now, I do hope I'm wrong in the sense that, you want everyone's efforts when people put out time, effort, money. I just don't think it can happen with this. I just don't. 150 million opening weekend globally that's a tough. Yeah, that's even a tough number for me to believe. We'll see though. It opens tomorrow, guys. Michael, it opens tomorrow. So we'll know more on the Saturday night show on Pop Regis Live. It's Saturday night. We'll do more, and then of course 1 week from now we'll take a look at what happened. I don't want to go back into into that movie, but let's go see what the news is. Aegon reviews Science and Sport collide at a haunting. Not interested. Sydney Sweeney scene cut from Devil Wears Prada. Unacceptable, my friends. No, Sydney Sweeney scene cut from Devil Wears Prada. We're not going to do the whole. We're not going to do. There she is. You notice how they don't smile? Like they're told, like, oh, there she was smiling. Oh, behave, baby. Yeah, there you go. Sydney Sweeney is such the talk of the town lately. She's making headlines for movies she's not in. Fucking right on. The Euphoria and Housemaid star shot a scene for The Devil Wears Prada 2 that has been cut from the film. Entertainment Weekly first reported. Oh no! What I do? Okay, now I'm going to close that. Sorry. Sydney Sweeney has previously spotted headed to the set last year, spawning speculation that she would appear in the highly anticipated sequel. The actress played herself in the reported 3-minute scene that was part of the reintroduction of Emily Blunt's character, Emily Charlton. Early in the film, in the scene, Charlton was dressing in celebrity client Sweeney. The scene reportedly did not mesh with the rest of the film's opening and was removed from the Disney film, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That's no, we're gonna boo that one. That's a boo. That's a boo. You don't take out Sydney Sweeney. You don't take out Sydney Sweeney from a movie without my permission. You ask me first. I would have said no. Keep Sydney in. I like Sydney. Michael team on Jackson's family involvement. Yada, yada. We've been through that. We're not going to go through Michael again this evening. Why Miranda Priestley doesn't remember Anne Hathaway's Andy Sachs in The Devil Wears Prada. We're not going to do 2 on Devil Wears Prada. That's Naomi Aki. Who gives a shit? Michael review. Michael. Too much. Michael, my friend. He's too much. He's too much. All right. Judy Greer says Matthew McConaughey covered her valet bill because she was so broke before filming Wedding Planner. I like Matthew McConaughey. This sounds interesting, doesn't it? Let's get the goods on this, man. Judy Greer says Matthew McConaughey covered her valet bill because she was so broke before filming Wedding Planner. The actress starred in the 2001 rom-com alongside McConaughey and Jennifer Lopez. Judy Greer is recalling when her Wedding Planner co-star Matthew McConaughey once came to her rescue. During a recent interview with Entertainment Tonight, the actress said she had gotten herself into a situation when she accidentally parked at an upscale hotel in New York City for the table read. Table reads are always fun. They are always fun. They should be fun. At the 2001 rom-com starring Matthew McConaughey and Jennifer Lopez, Greer played Penny, the latter's best film in the film. I valeted my car. I didn't know any better, Greer said when she arrived at the Roosevelt Hotel. I didn't have enough money to get my car out of valet because I was so broke. She continued, I was on the payphone in the lobby calling my friend Sean Gunn, Gilmore Girls and Guardians of the Galaxy actor, and Matthew McConaughey overheard me and gave me $20. I was so mortified, but also my hero. The film directed by Adam Shaka. Yeah, we don't need to know that. There we go. That's the Project Hail Mary, how Ryan Gosling's box office hit and marketing marvel made Amazon MGM the surprise studio start a CinemaCon. Sounds like it's going to be more about Amazon MGM than it is going to be about Ryan Gosling. We want to know about Ryan Gosling. The Mummy filmmaker Lee Cronin talks the original ending and test screening mistruths. Now, the one thing I will say about The Mummy, Lee Cronin's The Mummy, it's only at 35 million. But the thing is, its budget is only 22 million. It's only 22 million. That's freaking smart. I got more sound. I got more sound. I never use these sounds. I never use them. I should. It's like this is a good one. Where is it? Right, that's a good one. I should be using that one once in a while. Oops. No, let's turn that off. There we go. Sound effects. As part of the live, Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman return as sister witches in Practical Magic 2. I don't care. Erica Roberts says, Bob Foe is Vatican to host private screening of Scorsese-produced Pope documentary. Scorsese is doing a Pope documentary? All right. This is interesting. Elden Ring live-action movie adds Tom Burke, Havana Rose, Louis, Sonia Mizuno, Emma Laird as production begins. The Elden Ring. It's kind of interesting. I love fantasy and I love Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a D&D guy. Elden Ring live action movie adds Tom Burke, Havana Rose, Sonia Mizuno, Emma Laird as production. Yada yada yada. Let's get. That's a big axe, man. I love fantasy. As a screenwriter, I love doing A24. It's a hit and miss with A24. I guess with every studio, right? Adaptation of Bandai Namco Entertainment's video game Elden Ring is its most ambitious feature-moving project to date, has rounded out its cast as it begins production. We went through all the names. Alex Garland, who wrote and directed Civil War. Civil War, guys, I don't know if you saw Civil War. It was more hype than substance. I was not a big fan of Civil War. It was a terribly written movie that was basically a whole bunch of little blocks, disconnected, disjointed little blocks, little story segments that had, and then by the time we got to the end, you're like, really? Really? This is how this movie ends? So it was not a well-written movie. It wasn't. So if he's writing this one, which held the title as A24's most expensive production for a spell before supplanted by Marty Supreme, wrote the script and is directing the production. Okay, well, we'll see. Which gets underway this week in the UK. The production also puts Garland back on top of for navigating A24's largest, most ambitious project. Of course, this is Elden Ring. Sources say the budget is well over 100 million and will be around 100 days, just over 3 months, of principal photography. There you go, guys. Elden Ring, a little bit of fantasy. Could be interesting. I like that. I like this stuff. But fantasy's hard to do. It's hard to do. Very hard to do. Wayans Brothers reveal the only way White Chicks sequel can happen. Can you imagine two white guys doing a sequel called Black Chicks? Black Chicks? Two white guys? Okay. Marlon Wayans and Sean Wayans are open to a White Chicks sequel, but under one condition. The brothers are also returned for the new Scary movie installment, recently opened up about potentially visiting the cult classic during an interview with Entertainment Tonight. I'll put it this way. We're gay, Marlon said. We want to know if people want to come out and laugh. And if they come and see Scary Movie, then I definitely... Sean continued, if this movie does well, a White Chicks 2 could happen. The 2004 comedy follows two disgraced FBI agents who go undercover, transforming themselves from African American men into blonde white women in an effort to protect a pair of socialites from a kidnapping plot. Marlon and Sean also co-wrote the film with their other brother, Keenan Ivory Wayans, who served as the director. So, yeah, we'll see. You know what? Nobody should be afraid of whatever. Who cares what their skin color is? Whether they're purple, brown, yellow, pink, green, white, to do a movie called Pink Chicks, White Chicks, Black Chicks, Yellow Chicks, Red Chicks, Orange Chicks. Who cares, right? Nobody should be scared to do it. And if they are, that's where the problems come in for society, right? That's where the problems come in. Charlize Theron, there's the Charlize Theron news. We went through that. The Batman Part 2, Charles Danson talks to join. Nothing big. But what do we got? David Harbour joins Noah Centineo. Nothing big. She broke barriers as a production CEO in the Middle East, and then she had to evacuate the region. Not big enough for us to cover. I think that kind of, you know what, guys, that basically covers the news. Tonight, Daredevil episode 6 is airing. So on the Thursday night big show, 45 hours from now, we're gonna be covering Daredevil episode 6. Episode 5, Vanessa died, because in episode 4 we thought she died. Then episode 5, she didn't die. Or we thought she died, and then at the end of the episode, she actually died. Daredevil isn't going particularly well. It seems to be going a little bit, we'll see where it goes. And what else are we going to cover on Thursday? There's always enough things to cover. There's always enough things to talk about. There's always enough fun shits and giggles in the movie business for us to take a look at. I think that's going to be a show. That's going to be the Tuesday night show for tonight, guys. My name is Danny Alex. I thank you for joining us here on the Tuesday Night Big Show, Poprageous Live. And I will see you on Thursday night for the Thursday Night Big Show. And like I said, we're going to do Daredevil. We're going to maybe tap into a little bit of Michael again, see if we got any preliminary info. on the release and whatever else comes up in the world of pop culture. We are Pop Rages. I am Danny Alex. Thank you guys. You guys have a great evening. We'll see you on Thursday. Oh, sorry. You're still there.
Yeah, baby. Are you not entertained?
I'm sorry, baby. I didn't know it was your turn.
You. Look at me.
Yes.
What's wrong with being sexy? I mean, there's no...
Sex.
These go to 11.
Does that mean it's louder?